Numbers are numbing. More adults in their 20s and 30s here are dying from substance abuse. Liz Labe spoke to Tazewell County's health department and a mental health expert to weigh in on this issue.
The Tazewell County Health Department reports the leading cause of death for the 25 to 34 age group points to drugs and alcohol. Department epidemiologist Megan Hanley says this report was gathered from 2023 Illinois Department of Health data, and it shows concerning trends. She says although substance abuse rates and related deaths have remained steady, they're becoming more prominent, with 3 out of 4 deaths in this age group tied to substance use.
In 2020, it was 50%. In 2021, it was 40%. In 2022, it was 33%. So that's a significant upward trend.
Hanley says today more drugs are testing as polysubstances, meaning mixed with other drugs like fentanyl, increasing the likelihood of overdose or death.
In that age bracket specifically, I looked, and over 70% of the deaths in that age bracket was polysubstances.
Medical Director of Carl Diction Recovery Center in Peoria, Dr. Robert Leiser, says he also sees more people in this age group struggling with substance abuse disorders, including more overdoses and deaths. He says many people are also struggling with mental illness, and that getting help for that is key to treating substance abuse.
Many of these people just haven't developed good coping skills as teenagers. They haven't been reared and been taught coping skills.
Hanley says they've increased substance abuse outreach over the last few years and ramped up Narcan education. She believes education is key to preventing deaths related to substances, and she sees people stigmatizing the use of Narcan less often.
Studies show that as you increase access to naloxone and naloxone or Narcan becomes more prevalent in the community, your overdose deaths go down.
And Leiser says on top of these distribution programs and mental health services, more sober living housing options could help reduce substance abuse and deaths by taking people out of vulnerable and triggering situations.
We try to get a lot of these individuals into sober living because they don't have a safe place to live, and that's a big part.
In Central Illinois, Liz Lape, 25 News.